All right, in this video, we are going to accomplish three things. We are going to learn how to sum, average, and apply conditional formatting to a Google spreadsheet. All right, now ideally in this context, it would be for a gradebook, but this is good for all kinds of data. All right, so on the presentation that you all have access to, you are going to click on the sample spreadsheet link. It will ask if you want to make a copy. And this way, it doesn't matter what you do because it's all yours. No one else will be able to see it. All right, so here's the copy of the sample gradebook. You can see we have students over here. We have assignments across the top. Each of the assignments has a total value of 100 points. I did this for simplification purposes. If you go by points rather than percentages in your classroom, you're going to have to finagle the conditional formatting a little bit differently. All right, but the summing and the averaging will be the same. All right, these gray bars right here, those rows, the lines above it, and the columns to the left of it. And you can just fix those by coming over here and just moving them. Right, put it back. Did I mess it up? No, good. Okay. All right. All right. So the first thing we want to do is total the total number of points possible. All right. So this is summing. So we're going to come here to the function. We're just going to sum, and notice that it put in the over here in the function bar. If you were, a spreadsheet master, you could actually type this all in yourself. It'd probably be faster, and it will. If you start typing something in, it will try to figure out what you're talking about and autofill. But what we're going to do here is we just put in the sum, and then it's wanting a range. So I just click at the beginning and click and drag across the range because I want all those numbers to be added together. Let go, press the enter key. 800 points is my total because I have 8 assignments, each worth 100. Now I want to do the same thing for each of the students. So I want to total their number of points. So I'll just show you again. You can also put in here equals sum, open parenthesis. See, that was me just typing it again. I'm clicking and dragging to capture the range. Press the enter key. I have, since I'm a star student, I have 638 points. Actually, I guess I'm not such a star. Out of 800, it's not so good. All right. Now, instead of doing that for every row, what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture this little square down here. I'm going to drag it all the way down to the bottom. And what that does is it fills the formulas in for each row. So it changes the rows. Fantastic. All right. Now, in this column, I'm going to calculate the percents for everybody. And so what I want to do is I want to take this number divided by that number, right? So I'm going to actually type in a formula. Just do it right here. Once again, equals. And then I want whatever's in this column, this cell right here. So for weld, mat, it would be K3. And I'm going to divide it by the total number. Press enter. Right. I have a 0.7975. Now that's a percent. If I want to see it as a percentage, I can come up here to the little format as a percent button. Click on that. All right. Now it's a 79.75%. But I don't like going out that many decimals, so I can decrease the number of decimal places, and it rounds it to a 79.8. Once again, I'm going to take the little square, drag it down the column, and there we go. All right. Those are the percentages for each person in the class taken out to the 10th. Now for the conditional formatting. So what I want to do, what conditional formatting it does is it color codes a range of values, just kind of gives a snapshot. And so what I want to do is I just want to get a visual representation of how my class is doing. Now, what I did for this spreadsheet is I randomized the numbers. I used an add-on actually called Random Generator. And so I randomized the numbers in these, for all these grades, for all of us students, from 50 to 100. All right, so it's going to give me a color-coded visual representation of the data that exists between the lowest value and the highest value of this data set. Okay, so in this case, it will be between 50 and 100. In your case, on a real grade book, it would be between whatever the lowest grade is and whatever the highest grade is. Okay, now you can set things, you can set colors, you can set minimums, all this kind of stuff, but just for this quick snapshot that I want you to master today, is just for the range of the data that's there. So we're just going to highlight the data for the assignments. So I'm going to click on the top one and drag it down to the bottom one. I can right click. I lost my selection there. Right click and go down to conditional formatting. I could also go up to the top here to format and conditional formatting. Same thing. All right. Now, let's start at the top. I want to do a color scale. Okay, and I'm applying it to that range. It's showing me the default one, which to me is backwards. This goes from least to most. And so I would like it the other way around, from least to most, but I want it to start with red and go to green. Okay, so it's the minimum value to the maximum value. And done. All right, so I can see that I can find it quickly, all the lowest grades. I can quickly find all the highest grades. I can see, you know, in this case, it's all been randomized, so it won't work. But I could see how a student is doing, basically. Looks like me across the top here. I'm doing pretty well, except for a 52 and a 60. Okay? Quick representation. All right, so that's it on conditional formatting. You can play around and customize it completely to what you need. But that's just a quick overview. All right, so we've done summing, averaging, and conditional formatting. Let me know if you have any more questions.